Israel is built upon ethnic cleansing, and it continues to ethnically cleanse and colonize people every single day. This is an ongoing project.
What do you think?
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Let's see. We're just in 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Look, guys.
Oh my God. There's 164 minutes of this crap.
Hey, guys. I'm Naor.
And I'm Eitan.
And we are the Two Nice Jewish Boys from the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast.
And today we're going to react to Abby Martin. She was recently on the Joe Rogan Experience. She had some harsh things to say. So we're gonna take a look and respond to the things that she has to say.
Let's see. Maybe she has some valid points.
I bet she does.
Yeah.
Hello, Abby Martin. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Joe?
You're my favorite hardcore lefty.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because
They're so nice.
Yeah.
you know, all the podcasts that I ever do, whenever I do a podcast with you, I'm like, okay, this one's going to be interesting. There's going to be some shit that's going to disturb me that I don't know about.
Hell yeah, man.
Don't you think that, like, the tide has shifted in that subject where now people are realizing, like, they're going, hey, like, this is not as simple as the mainstream media wants everybody to look at it. The way the mainstream media was portraying it in this country, it was always that Israel's the good guys, the Palestinians are the bad people. That's how it was. But the main...
What the fuck?
Has he been watching the same media that we've been watching?
I don't think so. Have you heard of CNN, Joe Rogan? CNN, New York Times,
Washington Post.
I think the New York Times did a full front page spread with all the Palestinian children that had died in the latest operation,
Including those who died from Hamas missiles.
Yeah,
Of course.
and there was also one kid that wasn't killed.
Ah.
But that is a media that is always trying to portray Israel as the good guy. All right, okay.
mainstream perception now has very much shifted, don't you think? Like with this
100%.
when you see like that Iron Dome and you're seeing these rockets being fired out of Palestine and they're all getting detonated in the air, and then you realize like, oh, this is a kind of a crazy situation. Like one side has this insane technology and the other side is kind of in an open air prison camp.
We're sorry. We apologize for having the Iron Dome. It is not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
We should have let them kill all of us,
Yeah.
essentially.
I mean, first of all, back in, World War II, we shouldn't have.
We're sorry we didn't die.
25% of American Jews now, after the latest onslaught in Gaza, believe Israel's an apartheid state. And that shows you how dramatically the narrative has completely flipped on its head. Because for the last 20 years, Israel's been losing control of dictating the narrative. I mean, that was really what they relied on for so long, that we're acting in self-defense, that we're surrounded by people who hate us and hypothetically will commit genocide against us.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, we're paranoid.
Defend the fact that they are committing de facto genocide in Gaza. That is the erasure of Gaza residents. It's the erasure of a culture.
I mean, if it's genocide, it's the worst genocide ever. We're really bad. Maybe Israel is good at high tech, but we're really, really bad at genocide. Cherry tomatoes, microchips. The Palestinian population in the Israeli territory back in 1948 was what? A million?
More.
Million point two. And today?
5, 6.
I think between 4.5 and 5 million.
The tide has changed, Joe. They can no longer say that they're acting in self-defense over the last 20 years with the bombardments, with the invasions, with the colonization outside of their borders. I mean, we're talking about Lebanon.
I don't think she got the memo.
Yeah, we're out of Lebanon for like 20 years.
Over 20 years.
Yeah. And why did we get into Lebanon? We didn't want to. We got in there because Palestinian terrorists shot missiles into Israeli cities to kill innocent, and we're talking early 80s.
Also, Israel pulled out of the Sinai Peninsula. We pulled out of the Gaza Strip. These were all unilateral withdrawals. We weren't driven out of these places. We decided to take our military and take our citizens sometimes out.
Those people are trapped. And then you look at Israel, they're living high. They're living a great life. I mean, I saw some crazy ass ad from Dior, like of people, you know, basically just having this very ritzy time. You know,
You saw an ad from Dior.
Yeah.
I saw like this commercial with Israelis, and they were like doing stuff.
I saw a commercial from Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And it said, live life to the fullest. So
Yeah,
I jumped
yeah.
from
And they looked
plane
super happy.
without parachute.
Great sources, Abby Martin. Great. A Dior commercial.
living in Tel Aviv, living in Jerusalem, and completely just separate from the fact that there is this besieged ghetto of 2 million people denied basic access to things like water and electricity.
We disengaged from Gaza in 2005. We gave them Gaza.
We provide them with water and electricity.
We provide them with water, we provide them with electricity, we provide them with food and medicine.
And sometimes we cut it off because they don't have a right to have us provide them with electricity. That's not a basic right. Your basic right is for you to create your own shit. If we create your stuff, then you don't have a right to it. It's so simple.
Yeah.
I mean, the right to have human mobility, I think, is like the most basic right that you can have.
Yeah, that's the most basic. It's not the right to life. That's no.
No.
It's the right to move around. It's like, what was the line?
the globe.
Let me move or give me death.
I
right?
think that was the quote, yes.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It's nature?
Yeah, I think so.
As a human being, like to leave and freely travel. And these people can't.
She lives in such a 21st century mindset. Like, it is our basic right to go on Skyscanner and buy a ticket and like go to Prague
Thailand.
for the summer.
course.
And, you know, just like live in an Airbnb. That is like our basic right, Joe. And they don't have that. They can't go on Airbnb. God, Abby, wake up.
Can't do that. And the media has completely painted it forever. The media is totally controlled, right? The media acts as an arm of
And who controls the media?
The Jews.
The Jews.
The
Of
Jews.
course, of course.
The Jews. I know. I feel like the answer to a lot of our question are the Jews.
Yes.
And for the longest time, the media has basically just said Israel is right. They've only depicted the Israeli side of the story. And it doesn't matter anymore because with the advent of social media, Palestinians are able to film their own reality for the first time. So they're filming the home demolitions. They're filming the ethnic cleansing. They're filming themselves getting bombed relentlessly for no reason other than collective punishment and torture of this area. And that is
We're torturing the area.
Yes.
We're torturing. We're putting
On the
electric
nipples
clamps on the area's nipples.
Yeah.
On the nipple of the area.
Right.
And
we
then
spray
we're
it
like,
a bit before.
Yeah.
Then
We're torturing the area.
It's because the narrative's changing, Joe, and they've lost the moral high ground here. They have targeted munitions that the U.S. supplies to them. They choose to target entire families' homes. They choose to kill 14 members of one family sleeping in their bed at night because maybe one person has ties to Hamas.
what do you mean by maybe there's a terrorist in the building? Right? What do you mean by maybe? If we bomb a building, it's after it was thoroughly checked and there are terrorists there. Not only there are terrorists there, the reason that they are there is because there's a family of 14 people in the building. They are the human shield behind which the terrorists hide.
Hamas has indiscriminate rocket fire because they don't have targeted munitions.
Oh, so they're the victim.
Yeah.
They just shoot at children because they have no other choice.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah. Okay, we'll get to it. You'll hear what she says in a minute. Oh my God.
Wrap your mind around that. One side has all the armaments in the world supplied by the world's empire, and they actually direct these missiles towards sleeping families and civilian infrastructure and AP buildings.
Don't they let them know?
The AP building
Oh my God.
was
Oh
a
my
headquarters
God.
for Hamas terrorists.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was a headquarters.
Yeah. And just the way she phrased it, we direct the ammunitions to sleeping families.
Of course.
Like, that is what we're setting out to do.
The idea of General Secretary, which family we're gonna murder today. Yes.
Know in advance when they're doing something? Don't they drop leaflets and let them know that
So that's what
No, we don't drop leaflets. We spend hours sometimes trying to clear the building before dropping a bomb. Hours.
Joe.
they claim, that we're the most moral army in the world because we warn people in advance. I have
They claim it must more. God, she brings out the worst in me.
contacts on the ground in Gaza that said that is not true. And also,
she has contacts on the ground.
Yeah, contact.
this was happening at night. You're sleeping in bed. But they can use that and say, oh no, we sent a 10-minute warning. And even if that were true,
Dude, I can like do so much in 10 minutes, let alone walk down the stairs.
You can make a baby in 10 minutes.
Yeah, much less.
like some guy lost his whole, like a bookstore that he's, his family has passed down from generations. That's all gone.
Well,
All of these.
it's a war, Abby.
Yeah.
In war, shit happens. So
But
maybe
I think there's like in the Geneva Convention, you're not allowed to bomb bookstores.
right.
You bomb around the bookstore.
Yeah. Bookstores are international.
Bookstores are off limits.
Yeah, it's protected. No, but if they didn't want their bookstores to get bombed, maybe they shouldn't have started a war against us if we're that much
That's
stronger.
a revolutionary idea. That's crazy. Where'd you come up with that?
I should be a leader.
You're a genius.
Yeah,
man.
I should run for governor of Gaza.
Wow.
Businesses gone. It's not just about people's lives tragically lost, it's about their livelihoods.
And their counter is that Hamas is attacking them, and they're simply counterattacking, right?
That is what they say all the time.
The Hamas fires rockets into Israel indiscriminately all the time, all day,
Without any
all
provocations.
night. And at some point, Israel gets fed up with it and retaliates, and then people like Abby Martin step in and start spewing bullshit.
And they have used Hamas governing the Gaza Strip as a reason, since Hamas pushed Israeli settlers out back in the day, 15 years ago,
You know zero about history. You don't know anything. It's like it's like she sat and watched like 10 minutes of CNN and then came on and was like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's make a documentary. Hamas did not, oh my God, please just explain.
Hamas did not push out the settlers.
God.
We voluntarily disengaged and gave them the Gaza Strip for them to govern and make heaven and the haven out of. And
Israel unilaterally withdrew from the Gaza Strip in 2005.
But the thing is, if you look at actually the history, the Israeli government facilitated Hamas to rise to power. They wanted Hamas to take control of the Gaza Strip, so then they can use Hamas as this eternal enemy to collectively punish everyone there. And it's actually a war crime upon...
Okay,
Did someone get that?
Yeah.
That's just, even for a conspiracy against the Jews, this is one step too much. Yeah, one step.
Nice conspiracy.
Yeah.
Everyone says, where's the Palestinian Gandhi? Why don't they peacefully resist? They have been. They've largely abandoned violent struggle or armed resistance, which...
What?
Largely. They've largely.
What? Yeah, no, but Palestinians have been violently fighting Jews like
since the dawn of time.
Yeah, 40 years before the state of Israel, you had here violent uprisings that were initiated by Palestinians.
The first and the second Intifada. The second Intifada lasted, 4 years? 5 years, were from 2001 to 2005,
and knife terror attacks,
where thousands of Israelis were blown to bits by suicide bombers. But they've largely put violence.
Oh yeah,
on the side,
of course.
But when they resist peacefully, and the tens of thousands, they were mowed down by Israeli snipers, Joe. And it doesn't matter what they do.
In the tens of thousands.
Not mowed down dead, but shot.
So around the Gaza Strip, there are several Jewish villages in our side of the border with families, and those terrorists who are storming the border, they want to cross it and then commit terror attacks.
They are only above ground now because Israel installed a cement wall that goes 30 meters below the
barrier.
surface. 30 meters below the surface. Why, you might ask yourself? Because Hamas and Gazans dug tunnels beneath the surface. Terror tunnels into Israeli territory, up into Israeli homes, Israeli villages.
To kill as many people as possible.
In order to try and get in and stage terrorist attacks.
When they storm the border, they get shot. It seems very reasonable to me.
So do you think it's a part of their culture? Has something been ingrained in them that there's like this us versus them mentality, and that they are the other, and that they don't think of them as the same?
Yeah, I mean, 73% of Israelis wanted the bombing to continue. You know, this was a completely indiscriminate bombing campaign that was leveling
80% of Gazans supported the continuation of knife attacks in 2016 against Israeli innocent civilians. 80%. So yeah, 70% of Israelis supported the continuation of a war when one military is fighting another military. But 80% of Gazans supported stabbing innocent women, children, men on the streets of Israel. So pick your side.
civilian infrastructure. We all saw those buildings fall like 9/11. I mean, this was a huge media tower that was leveled for no reason. There was no proof.
Speaking of 9/11, we should mention, she loves 9/11.
Oh,
Abby
yeah?
Martin, yes, apparently part of, back in 2008, was part of like the Truther movement, which claims that that the 9/11 was an inside job by the American government.
Oh, and also, of course, the Jews.
Yeah, the Mossad.
Zionists.
The Mossad.
Yeah, of course.
So you know she's got like this very critical mindset, which knows how to kind of weed out what's conspiracy, what's lies, and what's truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is called the Truther movement. So,
Yeah.
You know, she only works for organizations that give her the freedom to really kind of find the truth and search for the truth and present the truth. Like for example, RT, Russian television, state-owned media organization by the Russian government.
So Putin was her boss.
Yeah, and then her last venture was funded by the Venezuelan government. So yeah, so she really is just out there fighting for democracy, really.
Israel is built upon ethnic cleansing, and it continues to ethnically cleanse and colonize people every single day. This is an ongoing project.
What do you think?
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Let's see. We're just in 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Look, guys.
Oh my God. There's 164 minutes of this crap.
Said that they would accept a two-state solution. In their latest charter, they said that they're willing to accept a two-state solution, but no Israeli authority has actually...
Oh, the Hamas said it? Oh.
Yeah, Hamas New Charter. Let's see.
Let's see this.
Here.
Okay.
The document in full. Article 20 of the Hamas Charter, which apparently, according to Abby Martin, Hamas is offering the two-state solution as a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They just want peace, right? Hamas believes that no part of the land of Palestine shall be compromised or conceded, irrespective of the causes, the circumstances, and the pressures, and no matter how long the occupation lasts. Wait, I thought they were agreeing to concede some land.
Maybe.
Okay. Hamas rejects any alternative to the full and complete liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. However,
without compromising its rejection of the Zionist entity and without relinquishing any Palestinian rights, Hamas considers the establishment of a fully sovereign and independent Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital along the lines of the 4th of June 1967, with the return of the refugees and the displaced to their homes from which they were expelled,
to be a formula of national consensus. I guess she read like the headline of a Guardian article or something.
Or she's just lying.
So basically, Hamas, what they're doing here is they're saying we're not giving up an inch of any land, but we're willing temporarily to agree to the 1967 borders until we can eradicate you. This is actually a concept in Islam, which is called hudna. It's called the truce, temporary truce. So any truce with an infidel, with a non-adhering Muslim, is temporary in their eyes. It's not in order to live peacefully side by side. It's in order to say, okay, we're living now. This is the border. Tomorrow, I'm going to come over and stab you. Okay, is that cool?
Of course.
Okay, great.
Let's strike a peace deal.
Let's do it.
Actually saying is that Israel and Palestine at one point in time did not want to accept the existence of each other, right?
Wrong, Joe. Because
wrong.
in 47, when the UN proposed the
Partition plan.
The Jews accepted it.
The Arabs didn't. They attacked.
And the
They
Arabs
attacked the
attacked, they lost, and we then took the land, and so, no, Joe.
Well, so Israel was founded on top of Palestine, you know,
Right.
but the original
It's like we can't go 5 seconds without them making a historical error. No, Israel. There was never a country called Palestine, ever. Basically, the Roman Empire fell. There was the Byzantine Empire. I think then there was the Ottoman Empire. And in 1917, the Ottoman Empire fell to the Brits in World War I. The Brits took over the land. For all of these periods, it was under the rule of an empire. It was never an independent country.
In 67, Yep, exactly.
There it
In
is.
67, they committed, they went on a huge war of aggression and occupied the West Bank and Gaza under military occupation.
Here's a map. As you can see, in the first map, there's very little green. In the second map, there's more green. In the third map, there's even more green than there was in the second map. And finally, in the last map, it's all green. Yes, and we found this on the internet.
So it shows before Israel was decided, before it was called Israel, it shows Palestine, and then it shows Jewish land.
There was never a country called Palestine. So all the green in this photo
Is the British mandate.
is British territory. It's part of the British Empire.
This is dehumanizing, subjugating, humiliating occupation on a daily basis that you have to endure. As a Palestinian, going from one place to the next, they set up giant concrete barricades blockading you just to make your life miserable. If they find something on you that can be construed as a...
Many terror attacks were initiated from the territories.
And many of them were thwarted thanks to these military checkpoints.
So the reason we do these military checkpoints is to protect our citizens from blood-lusting terrorists.
Yeah, but come on, man. That's not a legitimate reason.
No, yeah.
Apologize.
I'm
Apologize.
I'm sorry.
She's spewing propaganda, and she's spewing lies, and she obviously despises the idea of a Jewish people living in a Jewish homeland.
Thriving.
And thriving and being a proud nation. Finally, after years, thousands of years of persecution, we finally have our own little corner of the world. And she really, you can sense it. She hates that idea. She hates it viscerally.
Yep.
Which is, it says a lot about her.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Yes, it's been amazing. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
And check out our podcast, the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast. We have great guests, great content, so check it out.
Thanks for listening.